If an insurance customer forgets to renew their policy, or if an insurance customer doesn't renew their policy, it's usually not because they said, no, I don't want to renew my policy, or I don't really like this business or how they operate. It's mostly because they are not reminded to renew their policy. This simple issue cost insurance businesses millions every year. Renewals get tracked in Excel sheets, and agents actually forget to follow up. Customers are not disloyal, they just simply forget or they are busy, and there is no central reminder system. Due to that fact, revenue leakage is silent. Missed renewals don't show up as a problem, they show up as missing revenue. So let's paint this scenario. Let's say a policy gets expired in 7 days. An agent sees that, they know that, okay, I'm supposed to follow up with this customer. They forget. The agent actually forgets to send a renewal, and the policy then expires. The customer too, because they are busy with other things that they have going on, they forget that they even have an insurance policy they need to renew, and the customer moves on. Both the customer and the agent have forgotten, and there's no system that's put in place that will remind them that their policy is about to be due. Because of that issue, for it to happen to one customer, you can imagine how it is when it happens to 20 customers, 30 customers, 50 customers. A lot of millions in revenue that is being lost, all because of one simple thing. Nobody is sending reminders or reminder follow-ups. That is where automation comes in to solve the issue. Imagine there's a system that is being put in place that automatically goes through the Excel spreadsheets, goes through all the renewal dates, and says this person is due in the next 7 days, this person is due in the next 28 days, in the next 15 days. Based on the duration of when they are due, it categorizes it in urgency and says if this person is due in the next 7 days, it's very urgent. If the person is due in the next 20, 30 days, it's kind of like semi-urgent. So based on how urgent it is, it kind of shapes its tonality to the urgency. AI comes up with personalized messages based on the customer's information that is being saved, and sends either an email, an SMS, WhatsApp message to them, lets them know that their policy is about to be due and they need to make a renewal. So if you are able to just save 10 policies a month and make them renew, you didn't just grow sales, you fix the leakage. That leads to better cash flow, happier customers, less agent stress, more predictable revenue.
This is how the workflow looks like. Um, in the first instance, you are going to have a sheet of where the customer's information will be put in along with their renewal dates, to be able to search the rows and kind of figure out which renewal date is due. So what's going to happen is let's say by 9 a.m. in the morning, the Google Sheet is being read, and the system fetches current date and time, and it uses that date and time to now calculate the number of days to renewal. And based on the days to renewal, it routes it, maybe like let's say 20 days to renewal, or 30 days to renewal, or like a month to renewal, routes it and adds a variable to it, then merges and routes based on renewal urgency. So if it's, let's say, 7 or 8 days to renewal, it marks it as, either an early renewal, an urgent renewal, or a renewal that has been expired. So it adds those variables to be able to send to an AI agent, which then constructs a message with the right tonality based on how urgent the renewal should be, and then sends a message to the customer and then updates the Google Sheet to let them know. So let's take a look about how we set up these nodes. First, we start with the cron trigger, and this trigger is supposed to run every day by 8 a.m. in the morning. It goes through the sheets every day by 8 a.m. and that's the trigger for it to execute the workflow. And then the Google Sheet, you add the Google Sheet node, which you can set up you just connect your Google Sheet to anything and search for the document, which is renewal policy. And basically, after I said that, you run the workflow, and then it then brings out the results, which is all the information that was being saved either in in all the rows of Google Sheet. And then once you are sure that your data has entered, you then go to the time node to be able to get the current date and time. You see, I set it based on the time zone. You can see it's been added to the workflow. So you have a field of the previous customer's details along with the current data time, and then you will now add a code step, and basically you can like generate this code step with AI. You could just hop into ChatGPT and just copy the inputs of this you can copy the JSON of this particular node and say just type I want to generate a code step in Anything to be able to calculate the number of days to renewal, and it like gives you a full code that you can paste in here, and when you run it, it generates. You can use the code step for like calculations as well. It's like, I always call it like a cheat node, because it's kind of like you can use it to do stuff like calculation, like determine basically things that have to do with numbers, and it brings it out in like right format that you want it to. So basically in the output, now see the number of days to renewal is minus 79 days. That's like over 79 days. This one is 63. So you basically calculate the number of days ahead of renewal, and from there you now add a switch step, which it basically says the number of days to renewal. If it's under 30 days, it should follow one route. If the renewal is under 7 days, it should follow another route. Or if it's over 0 days, it should follow a different route. After this route based on days to renewal, then you add another variable to say, okay, the ones that are 30 days, like the expiration that is 30 days before renewal, comes up as an upcoming. So you like add the variable to it as upcoming, so it should be added. You are making this variable so that you're able to feed it into the AI agent to formulate the message tonality. So you are basically setting a variable here under renewal segment is upcoming renewal, because it's 30 days to renewal, and yeah, so it comes out in this output. So the second variable, basically you are setting it to the same renewal segment as urgent. That's renewals that are 7 days to renewal. You are setting it as urgent, and basically anyone that is 7 days or 15 days past the expiration, then it labels it as expired. So you see renewal segment is expired. Add a merge node to just merge all the split nodes into one, and then it routes both nodes based on renewal urgency. So it routes it based on renewal urgency. So if you click on it, you see if the renewal segment is either upcoming, if it's urgent, or if it's expired, the route it based on the urgency, and then you then add another variable to it. To the point of these variables are to be able to kind of clean context for the AI, so that it can easily form how the message will sound like. You don't want to send a message that maybe is like far ahead of the date, as in a tone of like you have to make a renewal now. You don't want that. You want the AI to be able to personalize the message, to let them know that, hey, like you have a policy that is about to expire in next 30 days or so days. Please do well to renew, like formulate tonality for the message. That's why we had all these variables. So you see the one that is 30 days before renewal time is kind of friendly, message tonality friendly, just an early reminder, and you send 5 days, follow-up days is 5. So you send it through email. I just added that one for later context if you intend to expand the workflow. So same thing for the other one, for the urgent renewal. You see the message tone is urgent, message goes to prevent lapse, and 2 follow-up days. channel priorities via email. So I did the same thing for the last one before. The ones that have expired, the message tone is recovery, message goal is reactivation, and follow up this is one. So you now merge the message back to be able to feed it to an AI agent. And what the AI agent does is you prompt the AI, give it the feed it with the customer's details. So for the first name, we map the first name, the policy type, the days to renewal, the renewal segment, and message tone and goal. So you just mapped it individually to its respective field, and then we prompted it to write a personalized renewal message appropriate for the customer. And in the system message, this was the prompt that we gave it. You are a professional insurance renewal sales assistant. The job is to write short, clear, and persuasive renewal messages that sound human and professional. Adapt your tone and urgency based on renewal segments. Rules: keep message under 80 words. Be polite, confident, and respectful. Never sound robotic or aggressive. Include a clear next step. Do not mention AI. You get? So it's just basically forming the message in a way that lets it know that this is how you're meant to sound. Avoid this kind of words. You can prompt it however you want to. And then I added an output parser. Of course, I add the chat model and an output parser because I wanted it in a well-structured form where I can copy in the next Gmail node. I can paste in the generated subject and also the body of the email. So this is basically how it looks. The output like first name, policy type, renewal segment, the short subject, and the body. So on the AI agent, this is how the output comes out with the structured parser. So for the subject of the email, your auto policy renewal is coming up. Hi princess, here's a friendly reminder. Email in 27 days to ensure continuous coverage without any interruption. Please take a moment to review your policy details. If you have any questions on your assistant, feel free to reach out. So you can see like hyper personalized message that you are sending to the customer, and it feels like it's a real customer support agent. And then before that, we come to the Gmail node where we'll just map in who we are sending it to, and you can get that from the merge node. So you are sending it to the email, and then the subject, go back to the AI agent. You see the subject is auto renewal policy, so you just drag the subject and put it in here. So now see the message context just like this, and best some more KPG insurance. So and you turn off append anything attribution, because you don't want to, if you send emails, you don't want the anything trademark to be at the bottom of the email. So you want to switch it off, and then go back and add another Gmail Google Sheets, so that you'll be able to add the status to the sheet. So if we right now is clean, so let's say if we run the workflow again, so I'll go back and execute the workflow again. So you can see I just added to Google Sheets. Then if we switch tabs, you can see the date was added in Google Sheet node. When you click the Google Sheet node, you see that we map it based on policy ID, so that the policy ID is just to show that for this policy ID, this is the person that we want to indicate that has been sent the follow-up. So just indicate with the variable of today and add the renewal status pending. So in the sheet it shows that the person has been sent a follow-up message. So basically that's how the workflow looks like, and that's how it's run.
You if you are running an insurance business and your renewals are still manual, there are much more smarter ways to do this. Link below if you want to see how this could actually work for your own process.